Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here in this channel, I predominantly do video essays on my favorite songs and artists, mainly Green Day. So if that's something you're into, then be sure to subscribe and like, and let's get into this. So today's video, we're talking about 21 Guns. 21 Guns was released as the second single from their 8th studio album, 21st Century Breakdown, in 2009. Which would be one of their longest records to date, because I'm sure after coming off the high of American Idiot, the album previous to 21st Century Breakdown, they were full of ambition and probably trying to outdo themselves. And whether they succeeded in that is kind of up to the fan base, because some people think that 21st Century Breakdown is better than American Idiot. The single was released on May 25th, 2009, and peaked on the Billboard 200 at number 22, becoming Green Day's highest charting single since Wake Me Up When September Ends in 2005. The song was also featured in multiple films and movies, and the soundtrack for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, being the song played during the end credits of the film and kind of played throughout the film as well. The song was nominated a Grammy for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal and Best Rock Song in 2010, and I think 21st Century Breakdown won a Grammy for Best Rock Album in 2009, but I don't know if 21 Guns won anything. The song was critically acclaimed actually very well, and a lot of people really related to the song, saying that it was the best from the album. But whether you agree is up to you. I personally don't think it's the best from 21st Century Breakdown, but it is a very good song. 21 Guns is about the topic of war and patriotism, a 21 gun salute being used to commemorate someone that had fallen in battle. And 21 Guns is probably their biggest, what you'd call, power ballad, although I hate using that term. It's probably what you would call it. Also, interestingly enough, there were people tied the chorus to sounding a lot like Mott the Hoople's All the Young Dudes, which, yeah, I can definitely hear that, but it's mainly just in the chorus, and everything else is kind of standing on its own. Some people compared it also to Africa by Toto, but I think it honestly sounds more like ELO's Telephone Line. But still, on its own, even taking all that aside, I don't think they blatantly ripped anyone off. I feel like they were just either inspired or so, because it sounded so much like All the Young Dudes, David Bowie was credited as a songwriter on the song to avoid any plagiarism lawsuits. The song was certified platinum after 13 weeks on the chart, selling over 15,000 copies, and it was certified platinum by the RIAA in New Zealand and in Italy. The music video was directed by Mark Webb and filmed in Los Angeles on June 6, 2009, and funnily enough, it premiered on MySpace on Monday, June 22nd, 2009 at midnight. Bro, I don't even remember MySpace. The video takes place in a room where the album's protagonists, Christian and Gloria, had just got away from robbing a bank, and so the police surround them in this room and they open fire. So bullets are flying everywhere, things are being demolished, and they just end up making out in the middle of the room. Kind of a nod to the album cover. So with that, I guess let me get into the lyrics a little bit. The first verse opens with these lines.
Do you know what's worth fighting for when it's not worth dying for?
And when you think about it from a war standpoint, some countries go to war not even knowing what they're going to gain. Because so many times it's their governments and leaders that just push people into it, and most of these soldiers don't even know why they're going. They're just told to go because it's the honorable thing to do. Maybe it is. I mean, I'm gonna not talk so much about it because it's kind of sickening. The next line can be a shock, a form of shock, or a form of fear, and perhaps even a form of death, because when you can't breathe, obviously that leads to suffocation.
Does the pain weigh out without the pride, you're in ruins.
This line is kind of talking about the fact that soldiers a lot of the times are just told to go to honor their country or their family. And a lot of the times they go knowing, as I said earlier in this verse, that there is no winning in war. One just ends up maybe on a slightly better side than the other.
121 guns.
The chorus is saying, while there's a time for fighting, there's also a time for surrendering. And so, hence the line, lay down your arms, give up the fight. And the second line kind of just repeats that idea of surrendering when there's really nothing to win from this. And then in comes the second verse.
When you're at the end of the road.
In my mind, this could be the idea that, once again, soldiers are kind of obligated morally to go to war for their country and for their families. And you can say that is the end of the road because you're technically looking down the barrel of a gun.
And your thoughts have taken their toll.
PTSD is something that is tied to a lot of soldiers when they return to war, which is honestly very, very sad.
Your faith walks on broken glass.
Another thing with PTSD is to cope, a lot of people drink and do hard drugs and other things just to kind of just get through their lives and get through their day, which is very, very heartbreaking. It also touches on the idea that when you're faced with such violence, you'll question your beliefs, no matter your religion.
Nothing's ever built to last.
Maybe this is questioning your mortality as, hey, if I'm going to battle, there is a very strong chance that I could die. And so nothing's built to last, and mentally and emotionally, you're in ruins because of that. The chorus comes in again, repeating the same lines. Now, honestly, this bridge is probably one of my favorite Green Day bridges of all time.
Did you try to live on your own?
In the context of the album, Christian tried to live on his own and ruined his life for it. So this was basically Gloria telling Christian that, hey, you're messed up and you need help. In the line,
like a liar looking for forgiveness from the stone.
I honestly never really thought about the meaning of this lyric, but after a little bit of research, I'm seeing that a stone is a reference to gravestone. So it would be like asking for forgiveness from someone who's gone, and so they can no longer forgive you. So then the song goes into a guitar solo, which another honestly great guitar solo. It's simple, but it gets the job done, and verse 3 is shorter than the last two verses.
When it's time to live and let die.
The term to live and let die is just to let go and just keep going, knowing the consequences of whatever you're doing can and will possibly affect you in a very negative way. And so this is basically just Christian giving up. Then it ends out with just the chorus again, being repeated twice instead of just once. And that's it. I guess in closing, I'll talk a little bit about my personal thoughts on 21 Guns. It's a pretty big part in the story of Christian and Gloria in the album, but it's also just a very good song considering the time that it was released and all that was going on in America and all over the world. So yeah, while it's a little overplayed in certain forms of media, I think this song kind of deserves the praise. Please leave your thoughts about 21 Guns in the comments. I guess that's where we'll end the video. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, share with any of your friends to get the word out. And I thank you guys once again. And I will see you or not see you in the next one. Adios.